At MegaCon, and there's Jeremiah in the back. And Jeremiah, I noticed behind me, there's sci-fi speed dating. You should totally do that.
I don't know. These normal girls are tricky enough.
Normal girls are boring. Hello, adventurer. So we wanted to do an episode on how to shoot video. So, we did one on how to take photos, but a lot of people don't know how to take video right and to tell that story. So what we decided to do is we want to do a whole episode dedicated to show you how to shoot great video. And so we thought, where is a good place to do that? So we decided we're going to MegaCon because there is no better place to get some crazy stuff on video than MegaCon. So let's go. Okay, so one of the concepts that you have to get is your establishing shot. So a lot of times what it is people are just like, oh, look, that's so cool. Like, wow, look at everything that's going on. That's how your human brain processes it in real time. But you'll need to make sure that, again, we're going sideways. And then what I'm doing is I'm just kind of panning through. I'm using kind of both hands here. And I'm panning through. The other thing that I can do too is a lot of times I can use a surface like this to steady it. Again, I'm establishing where I'm at. Like, what are we at Disney? Are we at MegaCon? Like, where is my adventure? So one of the things that you can do sometimes is like take a surface like this would be creative, where I can just put it on here, and then that steadies it like it's my own tripod, and it's a little bit more of a creative shot. So a lot of it is just, having our camera ready to be able to get anything and kind of telling that story, capturing the moment of nerd heaven. So you can actually pan down. We usually don't show you this, but I actually have a small little lav here that's connected to the iPhone, but usually you never see it. So we can get a little bit better audio for that. In that episode where we talk about lighting, this you don't have to worry about it. I would make sure that the lighting is behind me. And then the other thing that I'm gonna do is a lot of people, it's like they're gonna be like, oh, it's right like here and it's way too close. So I'm just gonna go right here, but I can like walk, with him a little bit like that. And again, what you're doing is you're trying to get an interesting shot. What I also do too is I don't do it just straight on. Like, there's some people I see and they're like this. Like, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go a little bit higher. So like even with lighting, that's why like around a campfire, if you put a light underneath, that looks like really, really spooky. Also, if you move the camera underneath, it also just from that angle isn't always as good. So one of the things that I like to do sometimes is like, I'm gonna set up a time lapse. Now, this will do it natively on my iPhone, but there's also apps on your phone that will record the video, but do that for you there. And then again, because it's time lapse, I can use a base here. So one of the things that I love about comic books is that they tell a story. And a lot of times what happens with comic books is that the hero, something bad happens. Superman, it's, this story about an orphan, and it's a Batman, you lose your parents. When something bad happens to you, they have their origin story. Well, each and every one of us, we have our origin story. And so it's important that when we're honest about that origin story, that where we came from, whatever bad thing happened, that actually can be super inspiring to people. And so it's important that when you're doing this, that we're looking at is like, how are we telling a good story? I'm gonna get them to do an epic high five. But what I'll do is I'm gonna go to slow-mo. There's apps for that on just about any phone so that you can do slow-mo. Here, we're gonna try that here. Okay, go guys. You can do a lot of editing right on your phone. Another thing I would say is make sure that when you're filming something, you get enough time before and after. So we call that like the header and the footer, because what happens is, let's say you want to do a dissolve. Well, it's like you only shot right at that action. So let it run. Don't say, okay, 1, 2, 3, go, and then hit it. That's where even sometimes Jeremiah, he doesn't have to give me a countdown because I never know when they're filming half the time, but they'll do 3, 2, and then they don't say the 1 because they're rolling at 3. And then right when it's done, they don't hit stop, they let it roll, because sometimes some really great stuff happens afterwards. Shoot a little bit before, a little bit after. We'll put several other apps for both the Android and the iPhone that you can use for video and later talk about editing in Adventure Support. So there you have it. Oh, yeah. So there you have it. How to shoot video. Get plenty of video to tell your story. And what did he say? Oh, he said, your adventure begins right now. What did the fox say? Ding, 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 ding.